Hey, before we start today's episode, I want to share an app that I think you'll really love. It is called Lingopie, and honestly, it's such a fantastic way to improve your French. Inside the app, you can watch hundreds of native French TV shows, music videos, and movies. And the best part is that you can even connect your Netflix and Disney Plus accounts to extend your library even more. Plus, you can click on any word from the subtitles to get an instant translation, save them, and review them later with quizzes. So you're not just watching something passively, you're actively learning as you watch. And I actually have a few students who are already using Lingopie, and they've told me that it's been amazing for them in terms of building up their vocabulary. It works for all levels from beginner to advanced, and they even offer live group lessons to help you practice speaking. So I highly recommend giving it a try. I was so pleasantly surprised by the app, and I think you're going to love it too. It's fun, effective, and low effort. There's a link in the show notes so you can start for free and see what it's all about. Now on to today's episode. Bonjour à tous. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the French Made Easy podcast. This is episode number 183, numéro 183. In today's episode, we are looking at the difference between two past tenses in French that often get mixed up, le passé composé and l'imparfait. So when should you use one and when should you use the other? That's what we are going to talk about today. Now, before we start, if you are new here, welcome. Please make sure you grab your lesson cheat sheet so you can follow along and see how the words are written. And after the episode, head over to the French Made Easy exercise library to download your free practice exercises for this lesson. All the links are in the episode notes, and yes, it is completely free. All right, so let's get started. So what's the difference between le passé composé and l'imparfait, the imperfect? So both le passé composé and l'imparfait are used to talk about the past in French, but they are obviously not used in the same way. So let's look at them one by one. I'll explain each tense first, and then we'll compare them next to each other. All right, so let's start with the passé composé. You use the passé composé when you are talking about something that happened once in the past, something that is finished, something that happened a specific number of times in the past, or a list of past actions, one after the other. So probably doesn't make much sense said like this. I'll give you some examples, don't worry. But you've got to think about it as the tense that answers the question, what happened? All right, so let's look at a few examples. Hier, j'ai regardé un film d'horreur. Yesterday, I watched a horror movie. Hier, j'ai regardé un film d'horreur. So in this sentence, yesterday I watched a horror movie, I use the passé composé because it is one action that happened once yesterday in the past, and it is completely finished. Another example. J'ai déjà visité Paris 2 fois. I've already visited Paris twice. J'ai déjà visité Paris 2 fois. In this sentence, I use the passé composé because it is something that happened a specific number of times, 2 times to be exact, in the past. Il a mangé chez nous, puis il est rentré chez lui. He ate at our place, then he went back home. Il a mangé chez nous, puis il est rentré chez lui. Now, in this sentence, I use the passé composé because it is a sequence of events, a sequence of 2 actions. First he ate, then he left. Each action happened once and it is completely finished. So we use the passé composé to talk about past events that happened once or a specific number of times and that are completely finished. Now, about the structure of that tense of the passé composé, you may have noticed, if you've got the cheat sheet or the transcript in front of you, that it is built with two parts, the verb être or the verb avoir, both conjugated, plus a past participle. Now, we won't go into how to form the passé composé in this episode. It's going to take too long. But if you do want to learn how to do that step by step, I teach it inside my beginner course, French Grammar Made Easy. Now, let's look at the other tense, the imperfect, l'imparfait. So you use the imperfect, l'imparfait, to talk about habits or repeated actions in the past. You also use it to describe how things used to be or to set the scene in the past, like the weather or, feelings or what someone used to look like, right? So you've got to think of the imparfait as the tense that answers the question, what was it like? Or what was happening? Right? So the passé composé before that we've just learned before, it was answering the question, what happened? And this one, the imparfait, answers the question, what was it like? Or what was happening? All right, so let's see some examples. Quand j'étais petit, je jouais au foot tous les samedis. When I was little, I used to play soccer every Saturday. Quand j'étais petit, je jouais au foot tous les samedis. I use the imparfait here because it is a habit in the past. It happened every Saturday. I was going to soccer every Saturday. Ma chambre était rose et il y avait des posters partout. My room was pink and there were posters everywhere. Ma chambre était rose et il y avait des posters partout. So here I use the imparfait because I am describing how something used to be, what my room looked like in the past. Okay, last example. La semaine dernière, il faisait très froid et il neigeait. Last week, it was very cold and it was snowing. La semaine dernière, il faisait très froid et il neigeait. So, I use the imparfait here because I'm describing the weather in the past. It helps set the scene. So, we use the imparfait to talk about past habits, descriptions, and things that were happening over time in the past. Same thing here. I won't go into how to form the imparfait, but if you want to learn that, it is all inside my course, French Grammar Made Easy. All right. So now you have an idea of what each tense is used for. Now let's compare them. So, look at this sentence or listen to this sentence. Hier, j'ai regardé un film. Yesterday, I watched a movie. Hier, j'ai regardé un film. I use the passé composé because it is a one-time completed action. Now, listen to this sentence. Quand j'étais petit, je regardais un film tous les soirs. When I was little, I used to watch the movie every night. Quand j'étais petit, je regardais un film tous les soirs. Here, I use the imparfait because it is a repeated habit in the past. You see the difference? The first one, yesterday I watched a movie, tells us what happened yesterday, just once, and it is finished. The second one, though, I used to watch a movie every night, tells us something that happened regularly in the past. It was a habit. So hopefully that's starting to make sense and you can see the difference between the two. Might take you a few listens to sort of understand the difference. But if you are ready, maybe we can do a little quick practice together right now on the podcast. All right. So the first sentence is, I used to walk to school every day. I'm going to give you a few seconds to think. All right. I used to walk to school every day. That is a habit. Because it is a habit, in the past, I use the imparfait. Je marchais à l'école tous les jours. Je marchais à l'école tous les jours. Sentence number 2. I broke my phone last night. Again, I'll give you a few seconds to think. That is a one-time event in the past. Broke my phone last night. So we use the passé composé here. J'ai cassé mon téléphone hier soir. J'ai cassé mon téléphone hier soir. Another sentence. She entered the room and she sat down. I'll let you think. That is a sequence of actions in the past, right? She entered the room first and then she sat down. So I use the passé composé. Elle est entrée dans la pièce et elle s'est assise. Elle est entrée dans la pièce et elle s'est assise. It was sunny and warm. That is a description. I'm describing the weather in the past. So I use the imparfait. Il faisait beau et chaud. Il faisait beau et chaud. All right, well done. Now let's do a quick recap of what we've learned today. Use the passé composé when you are talking about things that happened once or a specific number of times and that are completely finished. Use the imparfait when you are talking about habits, descriptions, or things that were happening over time in the past. So that's it for today. I hope this helped you understand the difference between these two past tenses. I know this is a tricky topic, but well done for finishing the lesson. Thank you for listening, and I will chat with you in the next episode. Please don't forget to download your exercises to practice what you've learned today. À bientôt. Bye. Now, before you go, if you are just starting your French grammar journey and you are not sure where to begin, I've created something just for you. It is called the French Grammar Essentials Checklist for Beginners, and it will help you keep track of what you already learned, what you need to focus on next, and how to stay organized as you go. You can download the checklist from the show notes. It is completely free. Go grab it and I'll see you in the next episode. À bientôt. Bye.